So this is the Niche Story, and it's a board we've ridden off and on at the demos and once for extended demo years ago. And it was good to get back on this now that there's a new factory, new, more eco-friendly, zero landfill materials. And it was kind of fun to get this under the pretty lights. And you can see here, you know, just this massive disruption in the side cut. It really does good work in gripping, and it's one of those boards for people who, you know, want good float and powder, want a more directional ride, but still want to occasionally ride switch and throw it around and kind of have, you know, a forgiving ride for those who see icy conditions. This is one of those boards that's always been on a recommendation list and is always right up there with a lot of our favorites. It might even just be, you know, it's just kind of in between that all mountain and free ride world, and it can work with both types of rider. And here's a closer look at that massive disruption here. And it's so easy to see versus the two bumps like you see on their newer, more camber-friendly boards. And surprisingly enough, for those of you who've ridden a lot of camber over the years, a lot of people think camber is going to have the better edge hold, but actually this disruption, this, you know, massive disruption between the feet, mellowing out quickly out to the tip and tail, has a lot more grip. Let's take a look at this thing on the table. But you can see just a mellow rocker coming out to kind of a long camber that doesn't touch. So it's got this kind of loose feel. When you press down, it's definitely better, but it doesn't have that, you know, all condition stability like we talked about above. But let's not get into that here. Let's talk about the width over the inserts, which everybody's been asking me to do on these on the table reviews. So those who send me the boards for extended demo get these. You're looking at 27.2, 27.3, pretty wide off the back, and then 26.7 about. And then with this taper of 5 mil, there might be a slight difference in, you know, with the magnet traction and the setback, there might be a little difference here. And let's see here. Like over this magnet traction bump, yeah, you're looking at 27. And then coming up on the front foot, you're looking at 27.4. So, you know, it's got some width to it, as you can see. And then talking about setback on board, you're looking at 4.25 difference between nose and tail, or 2.125 back on board, which is decent. And then you factor in a little bit of taper. That's setback on board. The bigger nose than tail, not by a lot, but enough. And, you know, this hybrid rocker, kind of rocker dominant ride that has some camber in it, but as you can see, the nose and tail definitely stick up and give you easier float. This is going to be a pretty solid floater. It's not going to blow minds, but it's that great one board quiver for those who see hard snow and need a little bit of directional float. And you can definitely see there's, you know, even on camera, there's more nose than tail, you know, getting in there. And then here's a look at the base. Let me do the sign flip. But you can see here, it's got a nice base that absorbs a lot of wax and holds really well. We didn't wax these, and they're still looking good after riding it for a few days. So that's great. You can see I can feel the die cut raise out, and it's kind of bumpy along the letters here. But this is a demo model. Production's going to be different. So, you know, this is a long time recommended. You know, we've been recommending this for a long time to people who see a lot of hard snow, need a forgiving ride, need a lot of float. And it's definitely got a different feel to it from our review last year when we were at the demos. I think they had some much lighter, poppier, way more chattery. Just they felt a little off, and they were demo models, but this feels like it's probably going to be more in line with the production model in terms of dampness and weight, and it feels like the old Story I tried a few years before last year's demo. So there you have it. That's the Story under the pretty lights.